what you're saying cannot hold water.
The section that Senator Methu read is that we terminated the contract, but there were some little responsibilities that were left on our side.
But you know, just very argument to you, Governor. There can never be little responsibility
Order,
left.
members, let's process our comments through the chair so that
Chairman, if you allow me, because he has referred to me.
Okay.
It cannot be a little responsibility. 4.1 says that the responsibility is only one responsibility, 100,924,000. There is no other responsibility that was left in the hands of the county.
Chair, through you, Chairman. I just want to know, you know, everything is now boiling down to legal issues. And I want now to turn to the professional involved in this matter, the county attorney. Did she render an opinion or advice to the office of the governor on this entire transaction? Because I can see the agreement is drawn by the office of county attorney. So, Governor, were you given any written opinion by the office of the county attorney, including compliance with Article 187 of the Constitution?
Apart from the fact that we did not go through the IGLTC to have that formal exchange, but the county attorneys sat in the committee that was preparing the termination. So you are well advised.
You were advised to comply with Article 187, but you ignored the advice, or she failed to advise?
No, that one that one was not given at that time.
You are not advised.
I have been advised by
because
the Senate.
we need to know whether it's you who has a problem, whether it's the professional who is supposed to advise you.
Because you know, Chair, and we are guided by what you have told us. But you know, it is very difficult to run away from some of these things if they are on paper. You know, what I'm getting from the governor is that immediately there was an executive order. It trumps everything else. You know, for as long as the president has said, you know, DOD maliza hii kazi. You know, everything else, you know, according to the governor, does not hold water. And I want the county attorney to go on record, Chair, through you, and tell us whether she advised the county government of Nyandarua to stick to the Constitution on the transfer of this function. Don't tell us about a service. Whether there was advice given to the county government executive to stick to the law.
In addition, Chair, because this thing comes back to the legality of this transfer, the county attorney should convince her, because I am surprised that she argued that this was transfer of service as opposed to the function. What were her basis that she said that this was a service instead of 187 in transfer of sanction? And finally, Chair, did at any point, because now you are bringing in the national government through the Department of Defense, did at any point Governor and maybe the county attorney engage with the office of the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya? I yield back, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, let's allow the county.
Chair, to help the county attorney.
We need to allow the county to respond.
Yes,
we have done a lot of talking on our side.
To refer to our own document, this 16.2, it says that each party hereto has received independent legal advice regarding this agreement. What advice was rendered to the county executive of Nyandarua?
Okay, proceed, please.
Thank you, Chair. I will start with a question about the transfer of functions. The way we saw this agreement, it was not necessarily a transfer of function or service, but what we were getting from the national government was infrastructural support to enable us complete the project of the JM hospital. So it was not, we didn't see it as a transfer of function or service.
Was it conveyed in writing as a professional opinion?
It was oral advice was rendered.
Did the procurement, okay, there's another profession that is required to do a professional opinion. That's the procurement people.
Yes.
Did they do a professional opinion?
The director is here, she can.
Was there a professional opinion preceding? Well, that's her responsibility as a member of the legal profession. The other member of the procurement profession also has a duty to render a professional opinion before a contract is terminated. Was there a professional opinion preceding that termination? I thought someone introduced themselves as head of procurement.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The issue was not taken as a procurement issue and more of
Termination of a contract. Termination of a contract. We have here termination of a contract. That is not a procurement issue. What was it? A political issue? Please, professionals. Are you a member of the Institute of Supply Chain Managers?
Yes, I am.
So you have a professional responsibility.
Yes, I do.
Just like the member of the Law Society of Kenya.
Yes.
She has disclosed she didn't render a professional opinion. It was done verbally, which cannot be confirmed. You had a responsibility to provide a professional opinion. Termination of over 1.5 billion contract. That is not a matter that requires the professional opinion of the head of procurement? Or Governor, you ran a one-man show. You are the one who was doing everything. You excluded them.
Chair, I started by saying that we asked for infrastructure support and it was declared. So the responsibility of procurement now went to the
chair. Methu, how is this counting down?
Honorable members, at this rate it appears we may not go beyond the gem, but it's important because it's going to lay a basis that will help us to deal with all these presidential declarations every other day.
But before you even conclude, you know, we are sitting as a very serious entity. And we should hold people accountable for the statements they make before us. The head of procurement cannot come here and tell us she was relying on, you call it what, political what?
No, I did not say that.
You know, they have stated themselves in 16.2 that the parties acknowledge and agree that they are not relying upon any representation or statement made by other parties. So you cannot tell us that you are relying on pronouncements made by the president when he visited Nyandarua.
Honorable members, I think they, from their body language, they are guilty as charged. So let's not flog them further.
But can I inform the committee chairman?
Senator closes.
Just information.
The legal counsel.
I mean, they've owned up. So
that's okay.
Yes.
In situations like this, I've had us asking the professional bodies to check the standing of the officers. Do you want us to do that?
I have to protect the ladies.
Chair, you have to protect everyone. Chair, protect the people of Nyandarua, Chair. Protect the people of Nyandarua first.
Nyandarua, Chair, don't protect the ladies.
Chair, we will allow you, Chair, to protect the ladies, but please begin with protecting the people of Nyandarua.
No, it's okay. What I'm saying is we don't need to overemphasize when already it is glaring and obvious. Yeah. So that we can make progress. Senator Methu, Senator Sifuna.
I think on this particular matter of the JM Kariuki Hospital, no explanation can suffice what is expected of the law in terms of the transfer of this service from the actually the Constitution, from the county government to the Ministry of Defense. Since there were two projects, I'm just curious now to ask the governor, even though it does not appear here, is this the same arrangement that was made for the Orkara Stadium? Because I also think it was also transferred to the Department of Defense.
Yes, and as advised, we will act on Article 187.
Okay, Senator Sifuna.
Chair, before you launch Operation Linda Warembo, you know this
Order, Senator. Those are professionals. Those are professionals. They can't be seen from only that lens. Proceed.
I need to explain to the county government of Nyandarua why this issue is very important. If you had named this institution and after a local hero in Nyandarua, there would not be as much scrutiny as with the gentleman whom you chose to name after this hospital. Governor, you know that even the institution that I am still in charge of as SG has a very close relationship with that family called J.M. Kariuki's family. So you can expect scrutiny. And please, such a big name should not be muddled with scandal and controversy. Show respect to this national hero by doing things the right way, so that we avoid all this controversy. We would like to see, if you have taken the advice of this committee, let us see that agreement with the national government in the next few weeks. I think the chair should be able to pronounce themselves on these things. And we want transparency. We want transparency in the construction. Let that name not be soiled by failures with the procurement professionals and the legal team.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Chair.
Okay, members, we agreed on timelines. We agreed on them ourselves. So the facts have been laid bare. It is our duty to give recommendations and give guidance, and also to define how we are going to deal with the other issues that have not been addressed.
Yeah,
so,
30 seconds.
Senator Chirake.
Yeah, what we are saying, Governor, it is not wrong to request either vis-a-vis. We have seen even counties that are doing national government functions. But what is, it's not wrong to request for support either way from county or national government. But what we are requiring of you is to follow the law, to follow the due process of the law. That is what the committee is just saying in simple terms. But I don't know, Chair, after Senator Sifuna talks about Linda Warembo, I don't know whether we'll invoke the same punishment we normally do to professionals. I don't know, maybe you'll guide us on that. Because that's the standard procedure.
The rules are standard.
No. With all due respect, there's nothing like Linda Warembo here. These are professionals and they are here in their capacity. If things went wrong, they have gone wrong. They need to be corrected. But the statement of Linda Warembo here, these are not ladies on
the only thing we are doing is Linda Ground, not Warembo. Ground.
That was introduced by the chair. It is the chair who introduced it.
The chair who introduced.
Don't lynch Sifuna for that. It's the chair who
my
introduced it.
vernacular. Chair, in
Talk to
my
him.
vernacular.
Talk to him. You see the next week.
No.
He's the one who introduced it.
He said we are protecting
Rambua.
ladies.
Order, members.
My vernacular. Warembos mean those ladies on the streets.
No.
Yeah,
My vernacular means nothing. Something different.
No.
I think we will
Warembos, these are professionals.
Vernacular.
You must respect them.
order, members. Order, members. Thankfully, I've been given the power now to switch off mics. So I'll switch off all the mics for the time being. Vice Chair, your last statement.
Yeah, Chair, because of this project, maybe as a committee we need to invite the AG to come and give advice, because there are so many projects through presidential edicts that are being taken over. So we need to know the framework of that working, so that if it is they are working at Article 187 or 189, we need to get to know, so that at least the money expended for the counties is safeguarded. We need to really maybe get some professional advice from the AG, so that money that is spent for the counties is not lost along the way.
Thank you, and I think you brought it to the right position. Even before we go to the AG, we've got a very competent legal team internally. I see Juma here. Some of our legal staff are now judges of the Court of Appeal. So we'll first do our internal advisory, so that we can distinguish between this thing of service and function. Whether there is anything in law called transfer of service.
Add Senator Methu is now a first-year law student.
Order, Senator Chirake. Okay, I think let's go back, because our way forward needs to be clear and uninterrupted. There is nothing wrong with the national government expressing intent to assist a county government in achieving flagship projects. It has been done in many other counties. So let it not be reported that this Senate is recommending that you reject the help extended by the presidency or the help extended by the DOD. That should not be the position. It has happened in other counties. I think the people of Nyandarua will not take us seriously if we sit here and say that perhaps there should be termination or there should be some stay of this project that is associated with a name that we hold dear, as Senator Sifuna has said. The only thing that you must ensure happens is that the process is lawful and the entire operation is prudent, because those are the two things that we look at as a committee. This project was initiated in 2021, initially at a contract price of 1.46 billion. Along the way, you varied it upwards by 8.7% to 1.597 billion. It should have been delivered by 2024. We are in 2026 and it is still not delivered. So far you have paid 615 billion, but it is not complete. If you want the help of the DoD or the national government, we must go back to the meaning of Article 187 and the provisions of the Intergovernmental Relations Act to ensure that that transfer is lawful. If in your view this is a service, because if you say it is a service, it's as if it's a procurement. I don't think you procured the national government. I don't think you procured the DoD. You transferred a function. So we will have our internal interpretation. Let your advocates go back and rethink. And I think your county attorney should go on record. Her advisory must be on record so that we are holding her to account on what has been put down. We would like this project to be completed because it is of value, it makes sense, but let it be completed lawfully and prudently. Honorable members, we had many, many other projects in this report. If we did not accept the governor's request at the beginning of this meeting, we would have gone on to look at the other projects and the other financial management issues in this report. But because we indicated that the governor had shown goodwill by coming, rather than staying away completely, we agreed that by 12, we'll take a view on how far we have gone. Even though we have dealt with just 3 issues, one of the issues relates to 50 to 80% of your total expenditure. That is pending bills. And I think if we can resolve that and resolve one of these flagship projects, it can provide some hope to the people of Nyandarua. However, there are instances of breach of law. There are instances of loss of funds. There are instances of misprudent application of public resources in this report. They cannot go unchallenged. They cannot go untested. Therefore, honorable members, I believe that between now and 30th of March, there is sufficient time for us to reinvite the governor of Nyandarua so that we deal with those residual matters. I think that's the only way we can allow the governor to exit so that he can catch up with the other obligations. Governor, I hope you have not changed your mind about the coffee meeting. It looks like you need the coffee. Fine. So in terms of closing remarks, I will ask the governor to make closing remarks, if any, and then we'll donate our time to Senator Methu so that we don't make it too long.
Honorable Chair, I want to thank you, in particular the senators and everyone, for understanding our predicament. I also want to really thank you for your input, issues to do with Article 187. I know we have so many other projects, like what Senator Methu have talked about, the stadium, which whereby the national government is also supporting us. So we are going to sit with my attorney and the procurement team so that we can clean up all those records as per your advice. So I want to assure this House that going forward, even in future, maybe it's also a precedent, maybe even to other areas, just as you have said, that we'll be able to be going through that. The other thing that really worried the Senator so much was to do with the addition of 374 billion. I know it's so dear to my Senator and also all the other senators. I want to assure you that after the implementation of the current budget, we'll be able to report authoritatively what we have done with that extra money. We decided to put it as affirmative action so that the Senate and everyone who participated can achieve. Issues to do with pending bill, Chair, I want also to assure this House that when I took over, we've been having this incremental OSRs. We started at 460, we came to 505, 515. Last year we were at 653. And I can assure you this time we are even going higher. That is one way to tell the Senate that we are going to reduce the pending bills. It will not be at the rate at which it appears there. As we are growing OSR, we will concentrate more with the clearing of the pending bills. So that I want to assure that. Otherwise, I want to add by saying thank you very much, and we advise as you have advised.
Yeah, so as Senator Methu closes, for avoidance of doubt, this transaction, we are not saying you stop it, we are saying you regularize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it not be reported that Senate has asked the county government to stop the help coming from DOD. What we are saying is you need to regularize it.
Yes.
Senator Methu.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I want to thank my colleagues for spending quite some time to look at the books of account of Nyandarua County. And I want to hold the words of the governor under oath, and it gives me some comfort that he said about that in the coming supplementary budget, we shall be able to get a view of the affirmative action money of 374 million. I think that gives comfort to all of us. That gives comfort to me because I know and I think this money will go a very long way in ensuring that we try and catch up with the others. That's why the other counties were donating some money to us. And it will even give us impetus. The members of the counties, small counties, we call ourselves the caucus of the small counties, the 12 senators who have a reason to go and tell the other senators that we still need this money even when the formula comes for one more time. Maybe finally, and I know I will run the risk of, I don't know how to say this, but maybe, and it is my position, Governor, that the Senate would not have any reason to stop the national government from supporting counties. I think, in my mind, maybe the reason why you are very, very quick to ensure that you transfer this completion of this block, the JM Kariuki block, and the Okrau Stadium, from a presidential proclamation is because we have seen so much of the kind. And since none has commenced, maybe this one that looked like it can commence, you started it very quickly so that it does not get lost in the other minute proclamations that have been made by President William Ruto in Nyandarua. Many of them have never started. If there is one that can start, let it start, but regularize it so that it is completed within the law. This is not little money. 988 million would have been a very huge burden on the county of Nyandarua. Maybe finally, having gotten these kind of reliefs, because you had budgeted 100 million for JM Kariuki Hospital, I imagine that you'd have budgeted another 100 million in the next financial year. Why don't you get this money and then still ensure that this money goes to the Department of Health so that we don't divert this money and use it for other purposes, and then it defeats the reason why the government was helping us. Because they helped us because we don't have enough. Ensure that this money that was meant for this JM Kariuki Hospital, even if it does not go to JM Kariuki Hospital, it goes to the Department of Health so that you can be able to make our medical services better. You can be able to ensure at least people can feel that there is some burden that was on the county that has been taken by the national government and they can actually see and get better services. Maybe finally, Chair, I'll be very excited to have the governor appear before us again to look at the issues on our own source revenue, because I would want to see how it has grown. I now know we have a new system, how it is working better than the system that we had, how it is growing, because, you know, Governor, even as we push money from the equitable share, you have to also push from your side. It can't be that when you joined the equitable share was 5.6 billion, it has now grown to 6.5 billion, but the own source revenue is growing within very marginal rates. It must commensurate. And you must also share among it yourselves, Chair. It can't be that one county is reporting that they have grown their own source revenue with 500 million, and another county is growing at 300 or 30 million. There must be something very wrong with these counties that are growing their own source revenue within marginal rates. I want to stop there. As you can actually see, Chair, I'm actually a very good man. I'm actually a very, very good man. I'm a very, well,
there was no doubt.
There was, there are some people who actually accuse me of being cantankerous. I only want a good country. Just the same way I'm speaking about Nyandarua is the same way I would want a good country. And those are the things that I say on top of the cars. It's only that sometimes I use a language that is not very friendly to Senator Cherargei, but it's the same thing that I'm saying.
I am happy that today you didn't point at the governor. Wewe Badilisha. Wewe Badilisha. I think just to tie it up, the senator has said something, I think it's something you need to reflect on, Governor. We don't need to respond to it. You will deal with it when you come back. Now that the national government has taken the burden away from you on JM Karaoke and the stadium, what are you telling the people of Nyandarua that the money that you would have used on the stadium and on JM Karaoke, where else are you putting it? Is it going into mandazis? Or is it going into payment of pending bills? Or is it going into alternative flagship projects? If we had time, we would have interrogated that. But when you come back before us, please have that question in mind so that we can provide that assurance that the burden has been lifted, but the Senate still sends the money, and so you are putting the money in another sector to improve lives and livelihoods. I hope in our next meeting, which shall be by invitation, not by summons, because you seem to have fairly good manners. You come when invited. So at our next meeting, which should be by invitation, I hope you can address us on that.
Though if you allow, in a half a minute.
Well, I'll allow because you are the one who was pressed for time.
Yeah, particularly on this one, I want to agree with Senator Methu. You know, in Nyandarua, at this age, we only have 2 level 4 hospitals. That is JM and engineer. Actually, the reason why we are really pushing this one to be completed in a good time, it will be our first level 5 hospital. What we have done, we have given money to 4 other hospitals, health centers, to uplift them to level 4s. That is Babu, Manunga, Ndaragwa, and Chamuka. So, in fact, it captures the inspiration of my senator that we want also now to upgrade other...
Governor, those ones you mentioned are in this report, and they're reported as told. So, come better prepared next time. We adjourn, the meeting is adjourned. We'll communicate the date.